and welcome to the Family Tech Talk podcast,
where we offer tech tips,
give parenting advice,
and discuss the latest tech news
that can help you manage the technology in your home.
We are your hosts. I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah. You can learn more about us on our website, familytechzone.com.
Thank you for joining us for this week's episode.
Today we are talking about another heavy topic.
I like cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying.
Yeah.
Because that is a big,
it's huge
thing these days, you know.
And I think, we'll touch on this, but the internet is so anonymous.
Yes.
Like, even though you're using, you can use your real name and you can still be anonymous on,
Yeah, well, it's that I can type something into a little window much easier than I could say something to your face.
Yeah.
So I would say stuff online all day that I would never tell an actual person.
Because there's not that, reaction.
Right.
You're just whatever.
You're behind this, nice little safe wall, and it's a lot easier to just be really, really harsh.
Really harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, as a kid, I was bullied, and it's not, I don't know, it's not something you think about a lot, but as I went back and I was like, oh yeah, I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was always taller, and I was always kind of boyish, and I was, so I had all of that, but that was face to face, still awful, but there's a little bit toned down a little, a little bit toned down a little bit,
but
now it's awful what things are said.
Yes.
So, on that note.
So I think the first thing I was how to find out if bullying is happening.
Yeah. So first, I actually meant to say this. October is National Bullying Prevention Month.
Shut up.
This is very timely.
We totally pulled it out of the jar. It was not planned.
We definitely did not plan this.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So there's stopbullying.gov. That's where I got a lot of my information, and that's where they say that. But how to notice, right? Yes. And I think a lot of the things it said, I was like, that seems very obvious, normal day-to-day kind of things. Yeah. But it's worth noting.
Sure.
One of the big ones, which was funny, obvious to me, was if they're upset after they've been on an electronic device. I'm like, yes.
Oh, right.
That's probably a good way to notice if you've been cyberbullied. But it's huge, right?
Yeah. Well, and I would say, not every time you're upset after being, because I have, family members who will play video games and get quite upset.
Family members? Are you sure there's more than one in that scenario? Because I'm thinking of one.
Not a plural?
Not plural.
I don't know what you're talking about. So they could get really upset.
Yeah.
Having interacted with an electronic, but it has nothing to do with bullying.
Okay, yeah.
But that is a good point, for sure. If, that would note change in personality.
Yes.
Yeah, so, if they're, seem really depressed or, like I said, they're on their phone and then they're crying.
Sad. Yeah, something's up.
Then something might be going on. Another thing I would say, I am huge into monitoring. So Bark, it's bark.us. Is a monitoring tool that you can use for your phone. And it's really for social media accounts.
Oh, okay.
So it will flag any inappropriate contents through text messages, through Instagram, through Facebook.
That's awesome.
It has a ton of different social platforms that it monitors. And so that's a really good way to even just get pinged when something's going on.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's actually really cool because and the next one that I saw was they're being very secretive or protective about their digital life. Yeah. Which I think that this allows you to kind of, if they're haha, no, don't look at my phone.
Yeah.
That would give you that notification. So that's awesome. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I really like it. My kids didn't have social media accounts yet, so we don't actually use it. But I have tested it from time to time, and it works really well. And I just had something happen this last week where I still get notifications through my Boomerang app about text messages. Okay. And there was this group chat, and I got 200, there was 200 messages in this group chat that my daughter was in. And it was pinging me all night long. Like, I mean, not all night because it stopped around like 9 o'clock. But like,
you're like, I pictured
like,
like
oh
2
my
o'clock.
gosh, fine, yes. But there was something that was in that group chat where I was like, oh, okay, we need to address this.
Wow.
So, like, even just these, simpler tools.
Yeah.
They'll notify you. You can take action on that.
And look at it. And I haven't tested the texting for boomerang yet.
Yeah.
But that's gives you that chance, like you said, that even though it may not be huge, it may not seem huge, it gives you that chance to talk about it.
Right.
Which is, I mean, point number 1 of how to prevent and how to watch for bullying is to have that open communication.
Yeah. And what I think also is really helpful with Bark and Boomerang is that you can see if your child is the one doing the bullying.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
As well. I mean, because nobody wants to believe it's their kid.
No.
But if you're monitoring and you're like, wow.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you can intervene before it gets out of control.
Yeah, there was, on that stopbullying.gov, it talks about bullying.gov, what to talk about if your kid is the bully.
Oh, cool.
And so I thought that was an interesting perspective because we always talk about, and I mean, everybody's bullied.
Right.
Like, you always, something is said or whatever.
Right.
Like, it happens all the time. So we always talk about what to do if you're bullied.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting side is what do you do if your kid is the one doing the bullying? And the big thing they pushed is just talk about how that can negatively affect them.
Yeah.
Or other people, what that does to a person. And even, this was for both, like, if they're being bullied, but I would also say if they're doing the bullying, talk about your experiences being bullied.
Sure.
Like, what did that do to you? How did that make you feel? Like, to give them a connection to that would be very helpful in having them realize that, oh, this is not something I want to do.
Right. Yeah, good point. So I think that kind of handles finding out if it's happening. Is there anything else you found with that?
The other one that was kind of stood out was if they start avoiding situations they would normally go at. So like school outings or friends' houses or something.
Yeah.
But again, that's change in behavior.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, like I was, when my daughter started kindergarten, I was like hyper aware of like all of this going on. And I mean, she's 13 now, so this was quite a while ago. And she was like, I don't want to go to school. And I'm like, why? Why don't you want to go to school? I was like on top of it. Digging a little deeper, I found she was getting car sick on the bus on the way to school.
No.
I'm like, I can drive you to school. That's not a problem.
I'll fix that part,
Right.
but that's funny. She's like, I can't go to school because the bus makes me sick.
Yeah. So,
that's
but
awesome.
but I was super like, wait, why don't you want to go to school? What's going on?
Is someone mean to you?
I know, right?
What's happening?
What's going on?
That is
so
funny.
I mean, so I think that leads into having these conversations with your kids on a frequent basis. You know, if, like you said, if there's something, you know, I usually like to go to the high school football games, but I don't want to go anymore. You know, maybe dig in a little deeper. Maybe they're getting car sick on the way to the football game.
Like, this make me sick. All the cheering too.
All the cheering. It's the worst.
Ugh.
But yeah, so I think just having those conversations is really important.
And I think, I mean, we touched on it last week as well. Really, just being able to be open with your kids and letting them be open with you. I think you're gonna not solve a lot of these issues, but you're gonna be able to. Attack is the only word I can think of right now, so we're going to say it. Sure. Attack them and be able to work through anything that's going on. Yeah. Like, I think that's huge.
Yeah. So with this situation last week, it wasn't necessarily bullying, but it was definitely not appropriate. Right. And I'm like, I could go in and delete these texts because she's asleep and she hasn't even seen them yet. Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could.
But what I did was left them and had the conversation with her in the morning.
See, and that's great, right? Like, they're gonna, and going back again to last week, they're gonna see it. It's gonna happen. It's not something that you really can stop. Yeah. And so being able to have that conversation of letting them kind of have that interaction, but then being able to be there to say, here's what, here's why, here's some more information or anything like that, like perfect.
Exactly. So I chose to keep the text there and have the difficult conversation in the morning. I was at the gym that morning. I'm like, I'm dealing with stuff way above my pay grade.
You're like, okay, do some stretches afterwards.
Oh, this is a little bit tough parenting week.
I'm not excited for that. Like,
teenage life is hard in 2018.
Yeah.
So keep the communication lines open, I think, is one of the most important things when dealing with cyberbullying. And like you said, even on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Even if your child is the one bullying and if your child is the one being bullied. And I will go back to that for just a second and say that don't think your kid is not above it. Because there's these parents, they get called into the office and they're like, my kid would never do that. They did.
And to be fair, like, I was bullied, but I'm pretty sure I probably bullied a few people.
Sure.
Like, it's probably, as a bigger kid in the playground, it probably happens.
Right.
Like, I don't remember it. I do remember I got in a fight in first grade.
Oh, nice.
Because someone was picking on my friend, and I pulled her ears. Like, I reached up to her head and pulled her ears. Super good at fighting.
Yeah, you are really good.
It probably happened.
Yeah.
So don't think that it's not going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel so bad for teachers these days who, with parents who just think their kid can do no wrong. I mean, if you tell me my kid did wrong, my kid will get punished.
Yeah, like, thank you for telling me.
Right.
We'll go deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that's just a good warning also for parents. Don't think that your kid is above.
Because they're probably not.
So I think, and another way to deal with it is first block and report.
Yes.
Bullies, for sure.
That was one thing I saw a lot was, block it. All social medias, all phones have ways, like, you can block numbers, you can block information, and then report. There's a lot of state laws on cyberbullying and how schools need to react to cyberbullying. And I know as a kid, they will not want any type of reaction from it, from an authoritative figure.
Oh, yeah.
But you still need to kind of report. You need to report that, and you need to get it out there.
Yeah, and especially, like you said, using the tools available in the social media platforms to block it, to report it, because you can report it right in the social media platform usually. I'm giving school administrators a little bit of a pass. If this kind of stuff is happening after school hours, I don't think they need to be responsible for it. And a lot of people try and bring it back into the school. And I think at that point, it's not a school issue.
Absolutely.
If it's happening during school hours, for sure, it is a school issue, and deal with it there.
But if it's, like you said, after hours, the school has nothing to do with that.
Right.
That's on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, parents, that one's on you.
Yeah. Yes. So, I mean, definitely be wary of, trying to bring stuff to school administration if it's, like, really not their realm of responsibility. But definitely go to the parents, and you may need to bring it to school administration if you want to find out who their parents are.
Yeah.
But just be like, hey, I just want to have a conversation with these parents. You guys don't need to get involved.
Yeah, and it could even be good, like, hey, have you seen this at school? Like,
sure,
I'm not necessarily, I just want to know if there's already been action at school, if you've seen anything. But like you said, like, make sure you kind of keep that distance unless they need to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely have conversations with the parents, because, like, they might not be monitoring so closely and they don't know that you're their child. Or they'll go the other reaction and say, no, my kid would never do that. And you're like, well, here's the text.
Yeah, so that was, I'm going to segue that a little bit. One of the big things that I saw as well is record. Like, keep records of everything.
Yes.
Because that's, again, the law is, bullying has to be a series. It can't be a one-time thing.
Sure.
So for a lot of laws and a lot of the rules, it has to be a series of actions. So keep text, keep messages, keep anything so that you can have that to then, if you do need to take action, to go and do that.
Yeah, so I will mention, before you block and report on those platforms, definitely keep the record first and then go through and block. Because sometimes it'll delete, or not delete, but, like, at least remove it from your view and you won't be able to view it anymore. Yeah. So, getting that record before
actually
you
going
do
and
the reporting.
Yeah,
definitely important. Anything else on blocking and reporting?
No.
Okay.
I like seeing if things tie in.
Yeah. So, and then another thing I was thinking is empower your child to take back the power.
Yeah.
And you would do this through, you can remove their social media accounts. I mean, they need to decide to do that themselves. Don't just be like, okay, well, let's just delete your Instagram.
Right.
No, they need to be like, you know what? Instagram is the cause of all of my sadness, so I'm going to remove my account. Or, you can change your account and not give anybody your username.
So that maybe you're just looking, you're not really posting.
Right.
Because I've known a couple people who have done something like that where they've changed it, and these are adults, so.
Sure.
Like they've changed it and then only given it to really close friends and family, just so they can stay up to date.
Yeah, exactly. And so you can do those kind of things. And also, try and take away the reaction. I know that would be really hard. You want to go in a corner and cry or whatever. But if you can be strong while you're in the situation, then you'll remove that reaction and they won't care.
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to bring up too. It's like, do not retaliate or respond negatively was a big point that someone did as well. Where if they can, and there may be a moment, there may be 5 minutes where they do want to cry and they want to kind of experience that emotion. Yeah. But giving them the ability and the power to take a moment, and if they need to respond, I don't think you do for most cases, but if there is one, they have that kind of calm in responding, and you're not angry like, who do you think you're talking to? Right. Which everyone on the internet should actually do, because let's be real, but that's a good, give them that. If they can stay strong and if they can stay calm, bullies are less likely. I sound like one of those adults in the movies that are, bullies, but it's true. Bullies are less likely, if they don't get a reaction, they'll leave you alone. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is where, because I was really worried about my daughter going to junior high because she's kind of an odd duck. And I'm like, she's going to get made fun of. But, she has so much self-confidence.
Oh, that's awesome.
That,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So I don't even think people try to make fun of her because she just be like, all right, that's cool.
Whatever.
That's your opinion.
Okay. That's awesome. That's actually really awesome.
I know. I don't know. She came that way. She totally came that way.
That was definitely not me in middle school. I was like, ooh.
I don't know how to instill this kind of self-confidence in somebody because it's just amazing. But but I'm sure she nobody makes fun of her because she doesn't care. Yes.
All right. Thanks.
Sweet. Yeah.
Appreciate. Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really like interacting with your daughter. I will say, there are moments. I mean, she's a middle schooler, so I don't know how to interact with middle schoolers to begin with. But she seriously is just she'll just talk to me. Yeah. I don't know many people under the age of 18 that will randomly just talk to me. So this is cool.
Yeah, she's pretty funny. But so I would just say take away that reaction and they'll probably leave you alone, And you can have those reactions, you can have those feelings, but just try and take them somewhere else.
Yes,
where they don't see it. And I think, they'll end up leaving you alone. And then another thing, so a friend of mine was also dealing with, we had a really tough parenting week in my group of friends.
Oh my goodness.
She was dealing with something similar. And we were telling her, maybe she sees something in you that she doesn't like about herself.
Yeah.
And that, is making her lash out at that. And don't take it personally. She just sees something in you that she doesn't like about herself.
Yeah.
And that's what she's gonna go after.
And that's actually to take a sidestep, because we always stay on track, so this is totally always. That's such a real thing though, is I noticed we had this friend who was kind of an acquaintance friend, and I constantly was like, I don't like her. She's like this and this and this, and she's too much of this and too much of this. And then I took a step back one day because Ben and I were discussing it, and I was like, oh, that's because it was a part of my personality that I tried to restrict a little bit, and she hadn't done that yet. Yeah. And I was like, how dare you be like this? It was type A personality, which I'm super strong type A. I just try to rein it in. So it's totally true that you'll lash out on people with stuff that you don't like about yourself. Right. There's your anecdote on that.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Fun fact, I'm a bully.
I don't like things about you.
I don't like about myself.
Did you have anything else? That's kind of the main topics I've had.
The last kind of tie-in thing I wanted to talk about was bystanding. So that's, I mean, there's obviously like two sides, but it's just talk to your kids if they are bystanders, because that's the other way they can get a reaction is from other people.
That's true.
And so don't participate. Don't like something if it's a bully thing. Don't really comment on it. I would say even if they try to defend, probably don't even do that.
Right.
Online, because
then you'll get like roped in, and you're not going to change anybody's mind online.
No, you never change anybody's mind on the internet.
No.
I'm going to put a billboard out there. You will never.
Never.
But so don't even comment, don't like it, just kind of leave it alone, and that will lessen the bully's desire to keep going with that. Yeah,
awesome. That's totally a good point. Because, it's not necessarily your reaction, but, like, if the whole crowd is like, well,
then they'll keep going.
Right, of course. That makes sense. Okay. Ready for top 5?
I'm so ready for top 5.
Okay. Top 5 teen movies. Super excited.
I'm super excited. This one wasn't hard.
I agree.
Actually, surprisingly.
I agree.
It only was hard because I was like, oh yeah, and then this one, and then I have to switch around and stuff.
Yeah.
But still, like, they were fairly consistent.
I had 6.
Ooh.
And so I had to narrow it down to 5. But there was a 6th strong contender.
Okay.
But anyway.
Okay, perfect.
Do you want to go first? Me go first?
You go first.
Okay. My number 5 is Mean Girls.
Oh, Mean Girls is on mine.
It's on yours.
I love Mean Girls.
It's so great.
It's so... Ben
we're talking about
Cyberbullying. Ben hasn't seen it yet. First of all, my husband's never seen Mean Girls. And I keep like, we need to watch Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Mean Girls. And I'm like, well, you have to.
Tell him Trevor, I think, liked it too.
Oh, okay, perfect. I will use Trevor as his reference.
Yeah.
And also there's a line when he like, at the very end, where he pulls the like sprinklers to get everybody to calm down. And he's like, immediately. I think of that all the time for some reason, and I couldn't remember what movie it was from, and then I watched.
Then you got it.
Yeah, then I got it again.
Yeah, that is such a great movie. You know, Lindsay Lohan comes to a high school. She's she's been homeschooled her whole life.
She's been high school.
And she just got to like figure out
high school.
Yeah, and it's great.
It's really, really good, and it does like at the end. There's like a good thing at the end, but there is a lot of bullying that goes on in the it's pretty bad.
It's great.
I feel like I had 6 on there. My number 5 is 10 Things I Hate About You.
That's also on my list.
I love that.
I love 10 Things
Ledger
he's so
cute in that one. And when he sings,
I
I will go to YouTube and watch that over and over and over. It's so good.
It's so good. So, this dad has this rule that the 2 sisters can't date until the older sister dates, and the older sister has no interest in dating.
It's a Shakespeare play. Another
one.
It
is. No. I think it's Taming of the Shrew.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It is.
So so it's Taming of the Shrew in
modern form. Yeah.
But it's so great. I love it. And then there's like guy wants to take girl, and so he pays somebody to take the older sister, and it's amazing. I love that one.
Okay. It's me turn then. License to Drive. I'm gonna have a lot of 80s because that's my generation. I'm sorry that it's not your generation.
I mean, I was born in the 80s, so I think
I was not born in the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. So, but License to Drive. It's the Coreys.
Oh, of course.
The Coreys are the best. And he lies to his parents and says he got his driver's license, and he didn't get his driver's license. Like, he failed the test.
Yeah.
And he takes the car out this night anyway, and hijinks ensues. Because he wants to go date Mercedes Lane.
Oh, of course.
Her name is Mercedes Lane. And it's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That actually does sound pretty good.
It is great.
I would like that one.
Yeah.
My 4 is, I actually just watched this, To All the Boys I Loved Before.
The
Netflix one.
I've never seen this.
So it's a Netflix original from a book. So I don't know if
nice.
Yeah. And they just put it out. And what it is this girl, whenever she has this like intense crush that she kind of needs to think through it, she writes a love letter.
Okay.
And then she just puts it in an envelope and puts it away and never thinks about it again. But then her younger sister finds the letters and mails them out because they're like addressed and everything. And so
I need to watch this
It's
movie.
super good. One of the boys is her sister's ex-boyfriend, and they just broke up. And like it's this whole thing of like her trying to manage these guys and like. But then there's another boy that she likes, and then this guy that she likes, and it's really good. It's on Netflix. It's really good.
That sounds
You'll
good.
like it.
I will totally like that.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 3 is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, perfect.
So
okay. Well,
I've
my
already
number
talked
3
about
was
it.
Mean Girls, so there you go.
That's so funny that we
just-
like literally have them swapped. That's so funny.
Okay.
So then my number 2 is Weird Science.
Oh, I have not seen Weird Science. I know, but it's one of those that I like know.
Yeah.
But I've never seen it.
So these 2 nerdy guys, they get on their computer and they make a girl. And
I love it. It's just so 80s.
the girl
and so-
helps them navigate being teenage boys.
Of course.
And it's great.
It's like my favorite pretense for a movie. Like they make a girl.
They make a girl.
Of course they do.
It's fabulous.
So my number 2 is She's the Man.
Oh, I like that movie. Yeah. It's Amanda Bynes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so Amanda Bynes, also a Shakespeare one.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's Midsummer's Night Dream, I think?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. I don't know my Shakespeare very well.
Yeah.
But Amanda Bynes wants to play soccer, but her high school cut the girls' team.
Right.
So and then her brother got on into this other school, but he wants to go like tour London with his band.
Yeah.
So she goes to the other school as him, gets on the soccer team, but like this girl likes the brother, but the brother's really Amanda Bynes, and Amanda Bynes likes her roommate, and who's Channing Tatum, and like.
Well, who wouldn't like Channing Tatum?
Let's be real.
And
so
she puts a tampon in her nose.
she does want a tampon to like hide why she has tampons. She's like, no.
It's for bloody noses. It's fine.
That's so good. And then there's a line in there where she's trying to teach her roommate how to how to interact with girls and how to like date them and stuff. And so she's like, just ask them about their interests. Like, ask me if I like cheese. And he's like, do you like cheese? And she's like, Gouda's my favorite. And that's every time I see Gouda in the grocery store, I'm always like, Gouda's my favorite.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 1.
Perfect. I'm so excited.
Ready for number 1?
Yes.
You better have this as number 1 because it is the ultimate.
It's not. I'm going to tell you it's not.
It's the ultimate teen movie, Breakfast Club.
Oh, it's not. I should have. I have seen Breakfast Club multiple times.
Oh, good.
So I at least have that. But that's like epitome.
Right?
Epitome. All right.
Breakfast Club.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, for those who haven't seen it.
In case, I've seen it.
If you're living under a rock, a bunch of kids are in detention for Saturday.
Yeah.
And there's the geek, the princess, the insane person. I forget what he calls her.
Emo? Is she like?
Well,
it's like before.
They just talk that she's insane.
That's right.
Like,
okay.
Crazy. Or they...
There's
At
a
the end,
specific
he
thing.
uses a specific word, and now I'm like, it's going to bug me. And then a criminal.
Oh, yeah.
And a jock.
Yep.
And they all have to, like,
spend Saturday.
Interact and spend Saturday together.
I do like that one a lot. That is a classic.
Basket Case.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Good job.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. And the Basket Case uses, like, Captain Crunch and Pixie Sticks in between her bread for her sandwich. It's a great movie.
It was a great movie.
Okay, well then what is your number 1? Because there's no way you can top Breakfast Club.
Easy A.
Oh, I do love that movie.
That one's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
I like that one a lot. Again, so that one, it's Emma Stone. I can't remember what her name was.
Emma Stone.
They're reading the...
Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet Letter, thank you. I didn't have to read it, so I was like, the one
you
about
didn't have
an
to
A.
read it?
I didn't have to read that one. I actually got through school without reading a lot of books, but I don't know how. But then she pretends to have sex with a guy, or they think
so he's gay, but he's not ready to come out.
I couldn't remember if there was a step before it.
Yeah, and they got the 7 minutes in the closet together or whatever.
And they pretend.
Yeah, and so he's like, I'm not ready to come out. And she's like, oh, it's cool. And so she like pretends to have sex with him.
But then it like spirals out of control where everyone's asking for favors so that they can get dates, so that they can look cool and stuff. And so she essentially puts a red A on all of her clothing, and it's just her.
Because she gets this rumor that she's a slut and everything. And
yeah, it's funny.
It is. It sounds terrible.
It's like, I know, as we're explaining, I'm like, maybe not let your kids watch it, but you should definitely watch it.
You should take it
because it's really good. And
good.
What is that? The dad's actor. Oh my goodness, this is one that's going to bother me. But he's
Stanley Tucci?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he's the dad, and it's hilarious and all the stuff that he does.
They are so funny. Grounding. Do you need to be grounded?
Is that like grounding?
He's like, no, we're good.
And then they have a son that they adopted, and they're like talking about legs and like growth spurts and stuff like that. Like genes, not just legs, but like genes. And he's like, well, what does it matter? I'm adopted. And he's like, what? You're adopted? Yeah. And it's like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, her interactions with her parents are like probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
So that's my number one.
It is good.
It is good.
It's not as good as Bros though.
As a funny final side note, my mom, every time, she's like, how do you have so much time to watch all these movies? Like, that's always, she's always like, what are your top 5? Or what's your top 5 for this week or whatever, and then she watches it, and she's like, how do you, like, every time, I'm like, I don't
like watching movies.
I just watch movies. I don't know. I like movies.
How do you not have time to watch movies is my question.
She does TV shows, so I think that's why.
Got it.
She's like a big TV show person.
Yeah.
So that's why she's like, how do you not have time to watch movies? And I'm like, you watch TV shows all the time.
Which leads into no. There's no.
I got really excited.
Yeah, you got excited for nothing. I like movies so much that when they are on TV...
Oh, yes.
Like, we have talked about this before. When they're on TV, I will watch the movie with commercials and all, even though the disc is sitting right next to my TV.
Yep. I am. We did have this conversation. Yeah. I am the exact same way. I've plenty of people who have lived with me are like I'm watching, like, Batman or whatever, and they're like, don't you have that? And I'm like... Yeah,
but it's on TV.
And I'm already started on TV, and I'm like in the middle of it.
And then I'd have to like go and pick it up, and it's like the most first world problem that ever was a first world problem.
Turn on the player, and then I gotta walk over there.
And I gotta take the disc out.
And like commercials give you the perfect opportunity to like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can
get
do stuff
done.
And then I just sit back down when it's back on.
Right, yeah.
I'm a big believer. That's like one of the things I miss about having TV is that I can't randomly watch movies. Right. And they're like movies I would never really pick also.
Right,
I've noticed.
And like, I did want to watch this movie. I
like this. I'm going to sit and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I miss TV, so I could watch the random movies. So.
Yeah. All right.
Drum roll.
I know. Like, this is getting a little low. No. We're going to need to fill it back up.
We will fill it back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I selected last time.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just do it anyway because I did it. Ooh, things you can do with a smart assistant.
Oh, we won't say the special phrase.
Please no, since even listening to the podcast that one's on, my phone went off. So we're not going to say it right now. Unless we turn off, I'll just turn them off.
Turn them all off, and then we can say all the Google. We can.
Check them. I'm excited about this. There's a lot.
There's so much. And there's a lot of stuff that you don't even really realize that you can do with Smart Assistant. Most people will just play music through it and not tap into the potential power that it can offer.
Yep. I'm excited.
All right. So don't forget to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, like I said, on Spotify or on iTunes, we video record every podcast, so you can see our wonderful faces if you check us out on YouTube. Subscribe there, subscribe on iTunes or Spotify or Google Podcasts. We are all of the places.
All of the places, just for you.
Yeah, so reach out, Twitter, at Family Tech Zone, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.
Yeah.
All right.
Or suggestions.
Or suggestions. Oh, yeah, because look,
it's getting a little
low, so we could use some suggestions for podcast topics. All right.
All right. Bye,
See you
guys.
next week.